How important do you think is industry experience when it comes to finding the right SEO agency?
I think it can be important, but it can also be a bit overrated. So, I mean, if you've worked with a number of different industries, then by definition, you had to work with all of them for the first time at some point. And I think like what ultimately people look to see if you've done something in their industry because they want to know if you can solve their problem, and they see that as being the best proxy for being able to solve their problem. And it's decent, but I think ultimately what you want is someone who can figure out your problem. So if we have an experience in an industry, I'll say, hey, look, here's how we solved this problem for a company similar to you. And that's a relatively easier sell. But if we don't and they push back, I say, hey, look, here's how we came in, understood the customer, came to understand the vertical and then executed and saw success. And I think what you want to look for is it good to see industry experience? Yes, because it means that there's less for them to learn and they already understand the space. But you also want to see if they can solve problems. And I think about that similarly to hiring for my own company, where I want to see that somebody has done enough of the things to prove that they know how to learn. But I think if someone has done the same thing over and over and over and over again, then it might be less interesting to come here and do more of it. So show me enough that that you've done this to some degree and can solve problems, but also that you're hungry enough to want to learn something new. So maybe something in the middle there.
I feel that like when you're going with the experience in the industry, like probably the SEO agency, they will do the same thing that they did last time, just copying the same, because this is the easiest way to do it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I already want to go after something that worked once. So probably if it worked once,
Mm-hmm.
probably it will work again. When it comes to low hanging fruit, that's like definitely it. Like I would go for this strategy. But when it comes to broader, like bigger strategy, that might actually be more harmful than fruitful, because like you will not come up with something that is totally different than the whole industry goes with. Especially like I like what Eli Schwartz says about product-led SEO. All of the ideas are unique. Like really, it's connected with the product, and it's really hard to come up with this idea. So an agency that has a lot of experience in a certain industry, they will probably not do it. Like that's my opinion, at least. I don't have a proof for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally possible that they can, but are you familiar with the Einstellung effect? I don't know if that's
No,
German or what.
please.
It's when your past approach to solving a problem prevents you from seeing a new way to solve the problem. I don't know if that's a dictionary level explanation, but I think about that all the time where basically, yeah, if you've done something once, you sort of say, you kind of turn off part of your brain and you say, oh, we're just going to do this, this, this. But to be fair, I think it's very possible to work in one industry and keep an open mind if you have proactive parts in your process to say, let's make sure that we're not just running too much of a templated checklist here. Let's make sure we ask the right questions to understand this business and their strengths and their weaknesses and how we can leverage those. But I think it's easier to follow a checklist, unfortunately.
I totally agree with that. Like I have the same problem because I'm a like serial SaaS founder. And one thing that I've learned is if you want to find the product market fit, you have to align it with the needs of the customers. So when you're talking to the customers, they have to tell you about like what kind of things they're looking for, but listen to their problems, not their solutions. Because like if you listen to their solutions, they're giving you just like a solution that they've seen somewhere else. Like they're not giving you the best possible solution. And if you listen to the problems, then you can actually design a solution that fits like all of them, or actually a bigger problem, not a solution that already somebody developed that is not the best one. And this is exactly what you said. They will go with things that they know the answer for. Like this is the best way to resolve the problem, because I've seen it. It worked there. It has to work here. Exactly what you said. Like so I totally understand. I will learn this term. I will use it in the
Nice.
future.